I am really excited. I've got a really, I had one of those aha moments, kind of like, yeah, this is what I want to do for my series. What I've decided to do is I'm going to head to the inner city, and I'm going to go meet some people. And for the next few weeks, I'm going to try to find 2 to 3 to 4 people who I get to know a little bit, understand their story. I'm going to interview them and let you get to know them as well. People who've hit rock bottom, who have maybe some regrets, some decisions they've made that have brought them down a path that is really dark and discouraging and maybe really a lot of bondage, and ask them how free they want to be. And I'm going to give each one of them a copy of my book. And I'm just going to challenge them to read my book, if there's somebody who seems interested in doing that. And then from there, if they really are challenged and motivated and want to change and change direction in their lives, there's an email address in my book, and I've just said, you know what, it's in your court. If you want to talk further, email me. And I also would love some encouragement and suggestions from you, and maybe some of your input as far as people that you think would be good to work with from those who I video. And then from there, I'm going to choose 1 or 2 people, and I'm going to commit to work with them and give you updates every few weeks as far as what they're learning, what they're going through, and just watching that journey. Somebody journeying from bondage to freedom. And that's the experience we all want to have, the journey we all want to have. So let's go together, head to the inner city today, and let's go see who we can meet. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Rich.
Rich? Rich, do you live close by, or?
Yeah, I live in the hood.
What? Tell me just briefly your story. What? How long have you been in Edmonton?
Oh, all my life.
Have you? Are you married right now?
No.
No. What? How long have you? Are you living? You have a home, or are you?
I rent an apartment. It's far too expensive. I'm on a limited income, CPP disability, partial H. I broke my back in 2002, and I worked for 33 years, raised 2 kids, had basically everything going for me, and then the wife and I split up, and kids went on to become successful. Don't have much contact with them. I have with my daughter, but with my son I do. And I made my mistakes. I embezzled some money and did some bad things. I paid for it, and it kind of put me in this situation but I'm trying to rebuild and get back up. I'm older. I'm in my 60s, so I'm finding it difficult, because I find in this country that the elderly and the sick and the elderly and aren't treated as good as they could be.
So what's one thing, Rich, that you would change if you could right now?
If I could?
Yeah.
Oh, there's many, but the top of the list probably would be the drug thing. I don't have that problem. I kicked that problem. I had it bad. I had an alcohol problem at one time. I've kicked that.
Do you feel free? If you were to look at what freedom is, do you feel any sense of freedom in your life?
Pretty much. I have my days where I'm frustrated by the system, but who isn't? I mean, we're all frustrated by, I feel that the government doesn't give me enough to survive. The rents in the inner city have gone sky high. I'm basically spending more than half of my income that I get per month on my rent. The thing about it is living in the inner city. Like, I'm single, but I've had, in the 4 years that I've been at my residence, I've had 104 girlfriends that have come and gone through my place. And I found that every time, all it is they come to my place, and it's a place where it's safe, it's secure, and they can do their drugs, and I'm not judgmental. And it's all I'm doing is enabling them. I'm facilitating them, and eventually I've been down that road many times. I just say, I can't deal with this, honey. You'll have to move on. And it just isn't going to happen. Finding Mrs. Right or the one that I'm looking for, and it's just a vicious circle. So I've kind of given up on it in many ways. And 104 is the last number that I stopped at, and I'm not chasing anymore. They can find me because I'm not the greatest looking guy, I'm not the smartest looking guy, but I got the biggest of hearts.
Nice. And there's a copy of a really good book for Rick to read. Right on, Rick.
You take care, Doug.
Thanks, brother.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our little chat with Rich. It's kind of ironic. A name like Rich, he's definitely not a rich man. He's quite poor in many regards. One of the things that Rich didn't share over camera is that when he was young, he was given a chance to go try out for the Detroit Red Wings. And he didn't go because his girlfriend got pregnant. So what I'd encourage you to think about is, think about Rich's story. Think about all the poor decisions that Rich has made, the decisions that have led him to where he's at today. It's quite discouraging, and I'm sure when Rich thinks about that, he gets quite discouraged too. Luckily he seems to be a fighter. So I'm going to get back in touch with Rich and just see what he thinks of the book that I gave him, and see if he wants help living a life of freedom. And that's what I want to encourage each of you, regardless of the decisions that you've made, poor decisions in your past, or circumstances that have happened to bring you to where you're at, where maybe you don't feel free. Think about what it's like to be a fighter. And I encourage you to fight. Don't take where you're at today and think there's hopelessness, because there's not. There's always hope. And I'm going to be sharing with you many things that show how to get from a life of bondage, in every way you're feeling bondage, to experiencing a life of freedom. And that's what I'm all about, and that's what I hope to be able to share with you. God bless, and take care until next time.